I'd like to call to order the Groveland Township regular board meeting for June 14th, 2021. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I don't know if we can see a flag, so I'll put this little one up. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. Okay, can we take roll call?
Robert DePaula?
I'm here.
I don't know that we still need to say where we're joining from. Just to be
Well, only because in tonight's meeting, all of us that are here are physically here, so I don't think we need to do it on this one. And by next month, I suspect they'll all be here, so we won't have to say where we're from.
Patricia Back,
She's excused.
Teresa Bills,
Present.
James Christopher,
He's excused.
Gina Mazzarelli. Here.
Okay, so we do have a quorum, so we'll continue on. Has everybody received a copy of the agenda? And if so, are there any questions or comments on the agenda?
Nope.
My only question was, I was guessing that it was Patty who was going to do the clarification of benefits.
I'll take care of
You're
it.
going to?
Yeah, her and I covered that, and
Okay.
I talked to her Sunday, so I
Okay.
said I'll take care of it.
Okay.
Okay, so if there's no questions on the agenda, then a motion to approve the agenda is submitted would be in order.
I will move to approve the agenda as submitted.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, any questions or comments from the board? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Okay, we're done with that. And you should have a copy of the minutes from the May 10th meeting. Are there any questions or comments on those? They looked okay to me.
Just under supervisor, it says spray away, right away spray. Is that supposed to mean right of way?
I'm sorry, where was that?
Under miscellaneous reports,
Oh,
page
yeah.
4. Under supervisor, the second bullet point where it says right away spray. Is that supposed to be right of way?
I'm sure it is.
Yes.
I probably read it so fast I didn't
Yeah.
catch it.
Well, I just know a business called
Right
Spray
away.
Away. And I was like, well, I don't think it's
Okay.
that, but
Let the record note that it should be right of way.
of way.
Okay, very good.
Just a little,
Yep, very good.
nothing big.
Anything else? If not, a motion in order to approve the minutes as submitted with the correction noted on page 4.
I will make a motion to approve the minutes from May 10th as submitted with the correction noted.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Any questions or comments from the board? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Next is the financials.
Fire board meeting.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're right, fire board meeting, I apologize. And we have those for May the 10th as well, and those looked all right to me too. Are there any questions or comments on those?
No.
Chief, you good with them? Yes. Okay, if not, a motion to approve would be in order.
I'll motion that we approve the fire board minutes from May 10th as submitted.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, any questions or comments from the board? If not, all in favor? Aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, now they're accepted. Do we want to postpone these budget amendments because Patty's not able to be here?
I don't see any budget amendments in here, but accounts payable is in there and financial reports, those are all in there.
Okay, well then let's go past budget amendments because I don't see any either. I'll go to accounts payable. I guess the accounts payable for the general is $70,698.31. And the fire fund budget for the accounts payable is $50,210.10. And that's all I have on it, with no notes or any specific directions from Patty. If not, is there a motion to approve the bills as submitted?
I will move to approve the accounts payable as submitted.
Okay. Is there a second?
I guess I'll second that.
Okay, I hope so.
You're not allowed to second?
I probably shouldn't.
Okay.
If there are no further questions or comments, would you take a roll call, Janelle?
DePaula,
Yes.
Bills,
Yes.
Mazzarelli,
Yes.
Okay. I don't think we have anything for reports on the general fire in that. I didn't see anything that looked out of line to me on the budget items either. I mean, on the spreadsheets for it. Was there anything that either of you had questions on?
Are you talking about for
The,
the 206 and?
yeah, the financials.
No, I didn't see anything.
Okay. And then let's just make we did the accounts payable, so we don't actually need a motion for the reports. If there's no questions, we'll move past financial reports
Right.
and go right to investment reports. And Teresa, do you want to cover that?
Yes, so I just included the cash on hand, which includes the public funds in their own little spot. So this is for May 31st, and you can see what everything is listed on that, on that sheet there.
Yeah, I love the way you do this.
Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah.
But it is nice to see, differences from month to month, right?
Absolutely. Okay, so this is your investment report. Are there any questions or comments on it? I'm good with it. I looked at it when we got it the other day. Okay, now let's move on. Under presentations, we have nothing tonight. Under public hearings, we have nothing tonight. Under unfinished business, we have nothing, so we'll move right into new business. The first item on the agenda is discuss the right-of-way treatment. This is the, you should have the correspondence that I got from the folks that do this. Alicia sent this to me, our representative for that stuff. And this is to continue the spraying for the road right-of-way that we've done for the last couple of years. It kind of helps improve visibility. I guess I know there's some concern about it, but I am in favor of doing it on the road right-of-ways, because if we don't, I think there's a potential for exhibiting some exposure to the township for obstructing the view and stuff.
I could support it if they actually did it the way that they explained to me that they did it.
What
The
was
drop
your
method?
experience on it?
Pardon?
What was your experience on it?
My experience was I got the dates because I was in communication last year, and they jump out of a truck with a sprayer and do this. And I was told that they do a drop method, that they actually cut and do a drop on each plant. That is definitely not what I saw. And again, I'll bring up the same thing as last year. First of all, this stuff follows the water table. It's all ended up in our wells. But, and that's my platform. That's my basis for feeling the way that I do. And that being said, I see them, they tell us to slash and burn them. I see them come down with their ditch cleaning machines. I don't see why we can't do the same thing for the Phragmites. I just don't understand why we have to put something that's a known toxin when they can be slashing and burning like they tell us to, or digging them out. They scoop the heck out of those ditches. They've got the machinery to do it.
Yeah, but they don't scoop all the ditches. I know when they went
that's what
down
I'm saying, but if
Groveland
we have
Road
a
this
right-of-way
last time.
identified that has a problem, there you go. Show up there.
I would guess I think this is the problem. One garage handles 4 townships. So a lot of people think if I see a pothole, I can call it and the grader will come out. It doesn't work that way. The grader's got to be in the township doing something else to even try and swing over there. And I think the same thing happens on the ditch cleaning. Frankly, I was surprised when they went down Groveland Road last week and cut the stuff in front of your house and mine.
Yeah.
Now, I cut mine with a lawnmower anyway, but they did get a bunch of them that didn't cut it. And I think it's hard for them to get there, especially for ditch cleaning, until they actually pull the guys out of the schedule for a while and send them to do ditches, and then they kind of pick the worst ones to try and get first. I just think it's hard for them to manage it any other way. I'm just concerned if we don't do this, that I think we're going to have some potential exposure for somebody saying we didn't do it. I would encourage, if you want, to get back to the road commission and hammer them for not doing what they told you.
I had my phone with me. I took a video.
Oh, really? Did you send it to them?
And I got no response.
If that happens again,
Well, I can tell you right now, I can't support this spray. I can't.
okay.
So there's not, you're not going to change my mind. I don't want it in my well.
Okay. Well, what would we like to do on this?
I'm wondering, are they going to do this regardless of whether we contribute or not?
Good question.
That's a
I
good
mean,
question.
weren't they doing this before we started putting in funds for it?
No, I don't-
Anyways,
I
weren't
don't-
they doing
I
it
don't think they
anyways?
were. I don't think they were 3 years ago. That's when all the
So-
discussions came up. Honestly, I don't think they did it before they started asking us what we paid for it.
Okay. I'm not comfortable with this whole glyphosate bombardment. I mean, it's a proven carcinogenic. And I think, you know, I agree with what Gina's saying as far as the methods that we're told to use to get rid of some things are definitely more time consuming and hands-on and more, they're not as easy as just going out and spraying. That's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't use that product. I would never spray any of that stuff anywhere near anything that I own or property I live on or anybody that I care about, right?
Well,
So,
do you want me to check with them and find out if they were doing it anyway, or if they do it anyway, even if we don't pay? And then table this maybe to next month when we have the whole board, so at least everybody gets the vote on it?
sure. Yeah,
That's a
because
good
yeah,
Oh, let me make a note here. Oh, RC.
I mean, I'd like to see the problem get solved, but I just don't think that spraying it with Roundup is the right way to do it.
Agree.
I'm sorry, who was that?
Oh, this is it, can public comments be, are public comments acceptable at this point?
From.
Well, we'll take public comment at the end.
Yeah, we will.
And
Okay.
thank you, though. I would like to hear your public comment at the end.
Okay, well, I'll do that, and then can we show in the minutes, Janelle, that we'll table this and put it on July's, so that we have the whole board here? Let me make a note right here. Check, okay. Okay, I'll make a motion then that we table this till July, and I will check with the RCOC, see if they spray anyway, and in July, we should have a full board meeting then. So is that, somebody want to second
I'll
that
support
motion?
that.
Okay. Any other questions or comments from the board? Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Okay, I'll take care of that tomorrow.
Thank you.
This is another one. I don't know if we want to wait again since two of them are not here tonight. It's the parking lot quotes. Patty provided them to us. You can see there's 3 of them. It's significantly different, and I know that just
Yeah.
in some discussion, it's been suggested, and I did go out today when I got here this morning and kind of walked through the
Okay.
parking lot. And what you can see, there's a couple of places now on the edge here on the far side of the building and in the center back here in the rear section where the asphalt is starting to break up into very small pieces. That's usually a sign that it's not solid enough underneath. And I, to be honest, I think we're close to where it's going to be time to do the parking lot again, but we didn't do it at this year's budget meeting.
Right.
And that's going to be very expensive, I think. So what I'm going to suggest is we go ahead with the seal coat that we have for the last couple of years, just to make it through this winter. And then when we have the budget session next spring, we can get some estimates on blacktop, because I suspect they're going to have to grind a bunch of it up. Okay, and redoing the parking lot then. So that's my motion. I'm going to recommend that we go through with JD and Sons again for this year, and that in the spring, March timeframe, when we have our budget session, we can get some estimates then and decide if we want to actually have the parking lot done.
So I guess, I don't know. Hopefully I didn't miss my vote to ask a question, did I?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Oh,
So
I'm sorry. Dan.
this second one that had the photographs in it,
Mhm.
are you talking about, these are the areas that are,
That's part of them.
Coming
There's a
apart.
couple there. There's on the edge there on that one as you get ready to go out of the parking lot. That one,
Okay.
that first picture A, I think is by the fire hydrant, actually across from it.
okay,
There's another one that's like that by the edge, but I'm just saying, if you walk the parking lot, there's a bunch of it that's getting ready to go to heck. I just don't want to put a lot of money into it to make it
And
through
I don't
another
think
year.
it works if you just cut out a section and redo. It's
Right.
better to just
There's-
allocate and budget. for
There's
us.
so many busted up sections that are getting the little pieces, that you're not gonna fix that unless you, I think, take it out and get it redone. But again, I'm betting that's gonna be in multiple tens of thousands of dollars.
well, these quotes are quite different and.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't wanna put 7 or 10 grand into it to squeak by another year's worth. I'm saying.
And you don't think that this would last? I don't know how long these things last and,
Well, we had.
Ideally, they
we had
tell you to
this
seal
done
every
last
2.
year.
right.
You know,
Okay.
the
Huh?
And the cracks,
crack seal, right?
you didn't seal the whole parking lot.
No, we
No,
have the cracks.
Every other year you seal.
but that's what they're saying now, fill cracks a 1/4 inch or bigger with Durafil. And this one's seal coat.
This is seal coating the entire parking lot. So
Oh,
this is
alright.
more than what we had done last year?
Yeah,
Yeah,
This is more than we.
Same thing you had done 2 years.
okay.
it's typically they tell, there's a lot of pros and cons people tell you. I had my driveway up with a cottage blacktop when I put the garage in, right? And I had it seal coated once. And then somebody said, you don't think they seal coat the road out here, do you? It's a valid point, I guess.
Makes it look better.
Yeah, right, and so I didn't seal mine again. And then up there though, where my cottage is, it's all sand and the water drains right through. The frost goes in and out once, so it never heaves it. It just doesn't bust up.
Mhm.
Here it does, and those signs are because I think there's clay under there and it's settling different. I think the seal coat gets us for another year. We can figure out what we want to do in the spring. I would not want to spend these extra dollars because I think if we end up going with a repaving job next year, the rest of it's just wasted money.
So you think that we do need to have it seal coated to get through
I
one
think
more
just to
year?
make sure we get through one more, because if you don't seal those cracks, and I looked at them, and a couple of them, they're not little cracks now, they're fissures.
All right,
Okay?
Chief, you sound
And
like you've done this
the-
before.
I did our parking lot.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
and
help with some help.
what's your feedback?
The seal coating helps seal those cracks in the water, not as much water gets in there, and that causes it to freeze and
Pop.
everything else.
So that's my recommendation, to go with JD for this year, then we can talk about it at budget time to see if we.
So
You
is
gotta
that-
remember, we have a lot of expenses this year. We gotta pay the rest of Barron Road.
Yeah.
And we got double doing the gravel this year, so there's another 200K there. Next year, that should be out of the way, and the gravel thing may be completely different because we're close to resolution on that. And if it is, it might be a lot easier to get the asphalt done.
Okay.
So that's my motion, that we do JD and Son seal coating this year, and then for next budget session, we'll take a look at redoing the parking lot.
Okay.
Is there a second?
I can second that.
Second that? Okay, any questions or comments? Okay, if there are no other questions or comments, Chief?
You have to say how much it's for.
Oh, I'm sorry, yes, thank you, $2,400. The other ones, I think, were 7,000 and 10,000 roughly. Janelle, would you take roll call vote on that?
Bill,
Yes.
Israeli? Yes. Palmer?
Yes. Okay. Okay, next item is discuss step increase for Angela, who's our deputy treasurer. Teresa?
Yeah. So Angela's been here for 6 months and she is due for a step increase. She has done a fantastic job. She's very meticulous and detail oriented, and I think she's very deserving of a $500 step increase at this time. So my
And a
motion.
good personality mix with everybody in the office too, very good.
Yep. So my motion is to approve the step increase for Angela Grogan, starting with let me think which pay. Patty had this all figured out. So the July 2nd pay, that we approve the step increase for Angela Grogan starting July 2nd.
Okay,
The step increase of $500.
is there a second to that?
I'll second that.
Okay, this makes it easy with just two of us. I just have to look one way or the other. Okay, and Janelle, would you take a roll call on that?
Israeli?
Yes.
Palmer?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Next item is your MTA dues. You know, we pay those once a year. You should have a copy of it in the package in front of you. It's total with the legal defense fund, and we have used them sometimes. So I think they've been very good, and I have to admit, I'm kind of happy that it's an ex-Groveland resident that's the head of the MTA. I feel we get our fair share of a right to speak and
Absolutely.
attention. So I would recommend we approve the $46,3005 with the legal fee included for this year's MTA dues. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, any questions or comments from the board?
No.
And Janelle, if you would take roll call?
DePalma,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Majerle,
Yes.
Okay, this one, I think, Teresa, you said.
I can talk to it, but I'm not sure if I can really present all the information, because, so there, when I worked in the clerk's office, and we do have the deputy clerk here tonight if I have a question, but all the machines that are used in the precincts for voting, the scanners and the touch writers, I believe there are 6 scanners and 3 touch writers. Is that correct, Janelle?
we may even have extra because I think we got the extra one.
So, well, I'm gonna go with 6 scanners and 3 auto writers, but my question on this is, I don't know, option 1 seems like the contracted price, like you pay every year, but option 2 is the pay in advance and you get a 10% discount. And I know that the prices are on here, and Patty has listed what the savings would be, but I'm not sure if that's for all the machines, or if that's 1 scanner, 1 auto writer, or if that has to be multiplied by 6 scanners and 3 auto writers. That's what I don't know, and she's not here to answer that. But I do know that in the contract, when we purchased those machines 5 years ago, 4 years ago, whatever it was, they came with a 5-year warranty, and they said that you have to purchase the years 6 through 10 warranty. So therefore, we're kind of obligated to do this. It's just a matter of, are we going to pay up front and save 10%, or are we just going to pay year by year? Is that your understanding of how it works, Janelle?
Yeah, and I know that her thoughts were to support the savings.
The savings.
It does look like it is per unit.
Yeah. Now, I couldn't see on here when we had, like, when it had to be decided by. I didn't see a date. But it's probably coming up soon. So I'm thinking maybe we need to table this one until next month when Patty is here
Okay.
and can give us like the due, unless it's a due date that we're going to miss, which I don't see a due date on here.
Okay, you want to table it then? That's your motion?
Well, the wording of it here on page 2, if you wish to take advantage of the advance payment option, please complete this form, sign and send it to Hart Billing at blah, blah, blah. A quote detailing the total amount due and renewal dates will be prepared for you. So,
Oh, you
So
could send us though, and we could get the
Yeah, can we
quote
just
back by the
send-
next
yeah,
meeting.
let's send it for the quote.
okay,
Yeah, let's send it for the quote.
all right. Okay, then I'll make a motion that we send this in for a quote for the early pay discounted price. And then we can make the decision on whether we'd like to go with that at the July board meeting.
Janelle, can you take care of that while Patty's gone this week? Okay. All right, that's your motion.
Do I have to make a
And
motion on it? I mean, I don't know if I have to make a motion, if we're even
well,
acting on it, if we're just gonna just.
Actually, we aren't voting on the money,
We're
yet, so we
not-
don't
we're
have
not
to.
doing
Okay,
anything,
that's
so-
fine.
Okay,
Okay, moving on.
Sounds good.
Next item. Everybody, I think, knows from the last couple of meetings, I had mentioned that we were considering taking a look at some changes to the marijuana ordinance. And a couple of things have happened that I want to make the whole board aware of, because you might not see it on a day-to-day basis. The staff here and I have been receiving a lot more calls from people asking the question, can you grow marijuana in Groveland? And the answer we've given them, and I wrote something up that the ladies use now when they get it if I'm not here, that says, basically, you can do whatever the state allows you to do if you're growing it for yourself, or if you're a registered caregiver for 5 people. But if you are a commercial operator, you can't do it. There's no license for it. And what's happening is, and I've done some discussion with some other supervisors, it's not just us, it's every place out here. We have a lot of people coming out and buying a house that they don't live in, or buying a house and putting a barn up, and they're putting like 350 amps of service into the barn. That's a lot of electricity. And we think there's some illegal commercial type growing going on. And those tend to be the ones that sometimes create the complaints from the residents nearby, because unlike what I took you to see in Orion, where it's a large commercial Class C operation, and there's hundreds of HEPA filters there to control any odor and so forth, these smaller operators are not doing it the same way. We don't even know if they're licensed in any way, and they're probably not, because they never came to us for it. I think we need to take a look at revising the township ordinance for two issues. I think everybody, when I took all of us to the operation in Orion, everything I heard was pretty positive about it. It's a very professional. I didn't know jack diddly about this when we started. I have to admit, I was impressed at how comprehensive it was the first time Chief and I went there to see how they do it, how professional it is, how sanitary it is and all that, and how well they control odor and things of that nature. Well, I asked the Orion supervisor for his ordinance, and I passed it on to our township attorney with some suggestions where I think we could effectively do the same thing. And this is the gist of what's happened in Orion since they've been doing it. They have absolutely zero problems of any sort with the operation. Zero. They have zero complaints on it. And it's because of where they located it and the quality of grower that they're using is a top-notch professional one. And so if we could replicate that in an ordinance, I think it would be to the benefit of the township, because it would generate significant increases in the state equalized value of the township. And what that does is we get roughly a little less than a mil here. The fire department gets 3.5 times that much. I think this is a way to meet the needs of the fire department going forward without the need of having a tax increase. But the other issue that's become apparent from the calls we've been getting the last couple of months in the office is this issue of, I think, illegal growers. And in talking to some other communities, they're actually taking some steps that it doesn't hamper the person who's growing it for themselves. It doesn't hamper the person who's growing it for 5 registered caregivers, but that in between there and the big Class C where potential problems come in, it makes it a little more difficult for them to do this illegally, and they're taking some steps. So I have some information coming from what Independence is looking at. I had a nice discussion with Pat Kittle. If the board is in agreement, I would like to continue to pursue trying to address both of those into some sort of an ordinance, and then we'll bring it up for a public hearing to discuss that. And I assume there may or may not be, Orion didn't have much comment from anybody on it, but there may be comment on it, and we could encourage the public then. We've not been trying to hide this from anybody. I've mentioned it a couple of times before. I've been to the tour now twice. I get frequent flyer discounts. And I think it's something good that we should do, because we really have 2 problems. One, we would like to get some significant revenue, not out of the taxpayers back here, but out of business district. And 2, I think we need to try and figure out how to curtail what appears in some cases to be runaway growing of this stuff on non-residential personal use basis.
So you're talking about like properties in the township that are not, nobody lives in,
Yes.
or they don't have principal residence exemptions, and there's complaints coming that
Yes.
they're smelling all kinds of,
Yep, that kind of thing. So it'll take me a while to get all of this assembled. I have a couple of other people that have some suggested language that are going to meet with me in the next couple of weeks. So before I go any further, I just wanted to confirm, I feel from our tour and everything that everybody felt this was a positive thing to do. And I'd just like to know
Well, the
if the
other
board
thing
agrees.
I appreciated is you brought the list that Leanne had provided to us, and we're getting the answers.
Yeah,
And
well, I
that's
knew a
what we
bunch of
need
them,
to do.
and the other ones, we got
Yeah.
some from them.
Yeah, and that's what we need to do, and that's what we need to convey moving forward, so
And
it
we're not
stays
looking,
positive.
we're not looking at one of those questions, we're not looking at changing and allowing the retail outlets, because I
Right.
still have some of the same concerns we had in the beginning.
Yeah.
We don't have a direct police force that we can control to take care of that. All of the complaints I've ever heard have been over some of the retail, small operators, okay?
Sure.
I'm doing this, and I don't know diddly squat about this except what I've been learning at these meetings. But I think this is a chance for a township like ours to gain a significant amount of revenue to run the community without going to the general residential taxpayer for it, and to have virtually zero problems, because Orion has had absolutely no problems. And as you know, when we went there, if it didn't tell you where the building was,
Yeah,
you wouldn't even be able to find it, right?
No, it was high quality.
High quality
establishment.
stuff, yeah.
Well, nonetheless, I think we still need to do something about
The other.
the other issues that we
Absolutely.
have. And until we have some sort of ordinances in place regarding that, we're not going to be able to change any of the existing situations.
I had a resident call me up and he said, I know this guy is going to do this. He's going to do it. And I said, I can't do anything on the law based on you think he's going to do it. You might be completely right,
Mhm.
but I can't do anything on that.
Right.
And so we need to find a way to do this. And there's a couple of townships that are looking at, I think, pretty creative legal ways. And since they're kind of doing the groundwork for it, we must take advantage of it. So,
Absolutely. And then, of course, we'll still have further conversation going forward before we adopt.
Adopt it.
those
Yeah, this isn't
things,
to
for
adopt
sure.
anything. This is just to make sure we're still in agreement. We want to look at both those issues.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, it's really just a discussion item, but I
Yep.
guess am I correct? Both of you agree with that?
I think we should move forward with
Okay.
bringing these ordinance discussions forward.
Okay. That'd be number 5. Okay. And then the next one is, I'll take this next one because I covered it with Patty too. It's discuss clarification on benefits. If you look, you have a copy of a minutes of a meeting from December the 19th, December the 18th, 2019. And this question came up because Ken Pelko was, as he's wrapping up our audit right now, one of the questions they asked was, hey, whatever happened to that retirement health savings account we used to have? And when we changed our benefits and went to ECTO, we also got rid of that to fund the new benefit package. The problem is it didn't get introduced in the minutes, but it was on the videotape. And that was my suggestion to Patty. I said, I know we did that. So they went back and pulled a couple of minutes and Janelle found it where we said that's what we were doing. It just was not accurately included in the minutes from the December 18th meeting. So I don't know that there's any discussion that's necessary, but I guess I'd like to make a motion that we formally adjust the minutes from the December 18th, 2019 board meeting to reflect the fact that we eliminated the retirement savings plan for healthcare at the same time as we implemented these ECTO changes. And that was accurately recorded in the video that's still on file for that meeting. So that's my motion, that we amend the minutes to support that record change.
I support that.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't wanna- I think she also wanted to just make sure that it was noted that Guardian, Dental, and Vision ceased at that.
Yes, that's right. It was included in the same meeting too. We killed all the old stuff at the same time. We just didn't get it written up in here, but thank you, Janelle. That's a good point. So I'd like to amend it to indicate the changes that we stopped the Guardian Dental, the Guardian Vision, and the health retirement savings. Was there
I
a
can still
second?
support that.
Okay. Are there any other questions or comments?
No.
Okay, can we, just to be safe, can we have a roll call on it?
You sure can.
Okay,
Bills,
Yes.
Israeli,
Yes.
DePalma,
yes. Okay, Patty will be happy. I covered that at great length before she called me on the weekend. Okay, next item is resolutions. I have nothing for today. Miscellaneous reports, I know Patty normally does that. We don't have anything for Holly, do we?
Holly area usually will send Patty an update, but
Yeah.
I don't have any update on that. I did get a Brandon Groveland Youth Assistance update. Basically, they have a movie night this coming week on June 17th. It's on the ball fields at Ball Street, and the movie is called Onward. It's free for families. So they also have been boosting a lot of their posts on Facebook. They're spending, it's like $10 a boost to boost these things. And They said that they got 1,500 people were reached about their shred day, and also 2,700 people were reached with their Wojo's fundraiser boost, Facebook boost. So the movie is out there on the Facebook post, and it seems to me like Facebook, even if you don't do Facebook, you can Facebook and put in BGYA, and you can certainly view everything. They also are discussing a swim program moving forward with the high school pool, or the Brandon
Yeah,
School District's
new
pool.
management.
Right,
program
so they're
for it.
discussing all that. And then also the youth recognition video. So they had 84 students that were recognized with Brandon Groveland Youth recognition. And next year will be their 35th year of doing BGYA youth recognition.
Okay, thank you. Well, Jim's not here for planning commission, so I don't think there's anything to report. The last meeting, they were working on the overlay district, and we got things straightened out with Michelle on how we wanted to do it. So I know they're going to be getting that work coming down the final pike. I think there's about 3 weeks left or something for the notices for the changes anyone wants to make at the various municipalities, where everybody and their brother gets a copy of the letter of our master plan. So I don't think there's anything there. And Gina, did you have anything on BZA?
No meetings, but we are going to be taking a class on June 30th on, the,
BZA
yeah,
issues.
BZA issues.
Okay, good.
6 to 9. 6 to 9 p.m.
Is that the whole the
I
BZA?
don't know who else. Danielle and I are doing it for sure. I'm not sure who else, because it's remote. So
Okay.
you just had to, she just had to sign us up for it. So I'm not sure who else responded.
Okay.
Excuse me, I have a sneeze.
Oh, but it is open to the whole entire board. right?
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
yeah, we all got asked if we
I
wanted.
think I passed
Okay, too.
the email around. I think it-
Yeah.
Okay, for supervisor, the only thing I'm going to comment on right now is I saw an article in the Citizen when I came back home, in this week's Citizen, that showed that Brandon has set up some sort of a group of people to explore the sewer project. And that was at the request of Oakland County, but just so you know, the last discussions with George and I with the folks at Oakland County is they don't seem to think there's much chance apparently of getting the money from the 244 million that's coming down to the county right now, and suggested trying to look at some of that money that's coming down in a year. George and I have both told them, if you do that, we don't believe that Shannon Fastener will wait, and we don't believe the DNR will wait that long. And that's almost 5 million of it. So I went to George and called him. I said, I don't know about you, George, but who do you think they're going to ask for the extra 5 million? I said, and we're not giving it to them. So George and I have kind of said, well, let's just wait and see whatever they come up with. But I don't want to be negative on this, because we have spent 2 years and a ton of work on what seemed like a golden opportunity. But I'm beginning to feel this is almost like a Hail Mary pass now. So we're not doing anything actively on it. We're waiting to see if they can come up with some funding sources that they think he was looking for. What do they call it? Principal forgiveness loans, which it sounds a lot like a grant to me.
Yeah, sure does.
But I haven't heard anything more on it. So I'll let you know if something happens on that. Patty's not here for her report, of course, for personal reasons. And then Teresa, did you have anything you wanted for treasurer's office?
Not really. I just, the summer 2021 tax bill should be going out in the mail, and the levy will be payable starting July 1st. So if you are a resident who is supposed to be getting a tax bill and you do not get a tax bill by, say, July 5th or 6th, please call the office and let us figure out, what happened and why you didn't get your bill, and we'll make sure you get one. Other than that, everything else is fine.
Okay, thank you. Okay, then at this point in time, we'll open the meeting up. If anybody wants to make a public comment now at the end of the meeting, if you can indicate it to us, and we'll try and let you make public comment right now. Is there anyone? I can't see it. I'm sorry, what? But I meant, is anybody indicating they want to make?
Well, we'd see it up there.
Yeah,
We'd see it there if they wanted to.
Okay, if he wants to make,
Okay, hey Bob, can you hear me okay? This is Alicia DiGirolamo.
sure. Hi, Alicia. The floor.
Hi, just real quick, I apologize, I had a late breaking work meeting that took me away from this meeting, and I just jumped in about 10 minutes ago. So I think I missed the first half of your agenda. Did you
If,
guys touch on the right of way?
no, what we
or
did,
I-
we agreed, there was some discussion about it, and we agreed to wait because two of the members could not make tonight's meeting.
Oh,
So-
okay, okay,
Why, okay?
okay. I'll pass that along. I'll pass that back along to the director and the assistant here.
So-
Thank you for that. All right,
May
so
want-
pushing off the,
July. Okay. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I say you may want to be back for July then. I'm sorry, what were you saying?
Okay, that sounds great.
Eve has.
Oh, Eve, I'm sorry, we see you there. Do you have a question or a comment you want to make?
Yes, sorry, I've got fans going and painting, trying to get to a quiet place. So I'd just like to say two things. One is about the glyphosate spraying, and I think, an individual application at one point on one little piece of property is one thing, but just randomly inundating the entire community, I don't think that's really a good idea. So I'd really like to be in the loop on that for comments and things like that.
And you'll want to make sure you're at the July meeting as well, because that's when we'll put it back on the agenda, okay?
Okay. And the other thing is about the marijuana situation.
Mhm.
Just because, allowing a legal grow doesn't really protect you that much. I mean, I worked in this area, the licensure area, for a long time, and I could get someone to provide some more background on what's been happening to communities where a grow operation becomes an attack point for criminals, because it's publicly targeted and available for people to see. So it doesn't necessarily protect you from, I think, what you're hoping to achieve there. I think an ordinance that simply says it's not legal maybe our best bet. Because no matter what you do, it attracts criminal interests, even if it's legal.
I think it does in the, especially in the case where there's retail outlets. And that's not something we're looking at. But if you have information that's relevant to what they call Class C, which is
Right.
the highest level of growing operation, where the general public's not allowed and there's no traffic on it. If you have something in relation to that, I would be very interested in seeing it.
I will definitely dig that up for you and talk to my ex-boss, who was former FBI, who led, we were doing the licensure for all the operations in Michigan. So, all right, I will get you some information on that.
Any other questions?
No, I'm fine. Other than that.
All right, well, thank you then. What we'll do is I'm going to make a motion that we adjourn the fire board. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Second by Teresa. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay, we're reconvening. Chief, the meeting is yours. We're all here. Let her go.
For May, we had 102 calls. Last year, we had 46. It was quite the jump from last year.
It's even more than 19 though.
Yeah. And at the end of May, we're at 434 calls for the year. And we're already 52 calls into this month. So our call volume has picked up significantly. If we keep on that trend, we'll look like we'll hit 1,000 calls this year pretty easily. Next note is 41 is out of service on Thursday last week. It broke down when we were up driving it around. Got back to the station. After looking at it, we thought maybe the motor had seized up, but now we think maybe just the starter's bad. So we're going to look into that, see about fixing that rather than just code Hing it out. So we've got to figure out what's wrong with that first.
I had to tell you that when the ambulance broke, I must have had everybody coming. Hey, did you know the ambulance was on the side of the road?
You think you got some calls?
And all I said was, I know, but they got radios, so you can get a hold of them.
Ladder one, they attempted to bring it back last Friday. It was smoking pretty bad, so they took it back. They think they found out what happened because it was working fine when they started bringing it up here. So hopefully, I asked for an update today. They didn't get back to me though, so we'll see. They did call me today and say they think it was an emergency cutoff that one of them was blocking the intake, so we'll see.
Oh,
I got a call last week. I put 35.99 on that next note, but it's really 35.33. But we had, we're getting all new radios, the county's getting all new radios, and they asked us to fill out a sheet of what additional equipment we needed that wasn't covered. And we're talking about you know, remote mics and things like that. And so ours came to 35.33. We were contacted Friday and from county and saying that Motorola is going to pick that all up, so we don't have to buy any of that stuff.
that becomes zero for us.
Correct.
Good deal.
Excellent.
Wow.
We contacted Renfest. They will be open this year. We're currently canvassing for some more medics and basics to help fill the schedule out there. We've got a couple ideas, but some people, probably next month, we'll probably be hiring maybe a couple primarily just for the Renfest.
Okay.
But we'll see how that goes.
Is
Fire,
there anything that we're aware of yet that would, because I don't think we've seen it at the planning commission for the permit. I'm just curious if there's anything different that they anticipate, or is just going to be the same as it typically
we
is?
called Kathy and she was down in Florida doing theirs down there. So she's not currently up here as far as I know.
Okay.
We're getting prepared, you know, getting the medicines that we carry and things like that. The fire inspector class is completed. I should say first phase. And it was Captain Williams and Sergeant Millar were in that class, and they have a test in July, and there's two more, how do you say, portions of the course that they'd like to take. And there's the other students that were in the class want to take it too, so I told them we'd sponsor it and have it at Station 1. So, but that's months down the line. We don't know when.
Okay.
We got a vaccine clinic tomorrow at Station 1 from 9 to 2. I just read an email. Looks like only 4 people signed up. So if anyone wants to get the COVID vaccine.
Do you know which one you're giving?
I'm assuming it's the Pfizer, because that's what the county has been giving out to
Okay.
everybody, but I did not check that.
Is it Station 2?
Station 1, 9 to 2.
Station 1 from 9 AM to 2.
Did we, excuse me for a second, Kevin. Did we get that on the sign?
We have, not on the sign, it's on Facebook and the site.
Oh, it is? Okay. If you can, pop it on the sign.
I can put on there.
Okay, great.
For tomorrow. The FBI, for our chiefs meeting, they wanted to do some IED training, and so they want to make this an annual training available for first responders. And so they're looking for a place where they can blow some stuff up. And so I volunteered the gravel pit. And we went down to the Crest Center first, and they said, there's no way they can blow up anything down there. So on August 30th, currently, there's going to be a flyer coming out. FBI is going to have an IED training at Station 1. It's about a 4-hour classroom, and then we're going to go over to the pit behind the Mavis building, that area directly west of the task force building.
Wow.
And they're going to blow up some stuff. There's not going to be any huge explosions like I would have done in the Marines, but there'll be.
You had the big stuff there.
So they're going to do some of that. The lawnmower, Leanne was generous enough to donate $1,000 matching grant,
Wow.
and she did it on,
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Leanne.
I can't even think of the name of it. Where's that where you donate money?
GoFundMe?
GoFundMe.
Is it GoFundMe?
And we got a total, counting the 20, well, she had 1,000 and we got a total of $4,975 with the $2,500 from the town, from my budget. So we do have a lawnmower in the works right now. It's a big John Deere 0-turn, and price on that was going to be $5,000. It's from a resident that's moving out. So right now it looks like they haven't sold their house yet. So, the date of sale yet is.
It could be any day now, you never know. These houses are selling fast, but
Yeah.
how many people approximately do you think contributed to that?
I don't have that information, but I think it was about 6 was it 5 checks I brought in today? And then there was several, I still have several cash deposits at the station, and of course, the $1,000.
Are you going to have to paint that red and put lights on it?
It's not yellow, so we're okay. It's green. It's a John Deere, so it's green.
Well, that was very generous.
Yeah,
It was.
very generous, yeah.
And we're about, all the small diameter hoses have been tested. All we have is the big, large diameter hose to test, which is the hardest to test, and it's harder to do because it's 1,000 feet on every truck. But Stacy and Captain Williams have been working on that steadily. So, and we also have some small diameter on the ladder, believe it or not, to check since it's not here. But so we're getting along, and I think everything's on track right now.
Yeah, things seem to be working pretty well right now. Very good.
I just had a quick question. I was reading in the minutes about state inspection. How did that go?
We passed that. We
With the
just
ambulance
finished,
one?
yes, and we just finished paying for it. We had some paperwork to submit, like the insurance paperwork I got from Janelle this morning. And we submitted all that, and I have the confirmation that we paid for that. So I think how much was $200. Other than that, I think we're looking good.
Okay, I think our audit's just about done. We should be getting that pretty soon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
I think we're in good shape there.
I did send him the safer paperwork and the calls that he asked for, but I have not got confirmation that he got the safer paperwork.
Want me to follow up on that?
I'll call him again tomorrow, but
I'm just curious, ask him why he asked on the calls. I know I would ask for the safer because there's dollars that flow in it, but I don't know why on the calls. Okay, anything else, chief?
that's it.
Okay, if not, a motion is in order to adjourn. I'll so move, I guess. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, any questions or comments? Before we adjourn, any questions or comments from the audience? I apologize. Okay,
Hold on.
is that one? I can't see it.
What does it say?
Oh, yes.
Yes,
Yep.
just say yes, we'll do that.
Oh,
Oh, sorry.
sorry. Yep,
What is it?
it's all good.
It's all good, okay.
Okay.
All right, if there are no other questions or comments, the motion's been made and seconded by Teresa.
Yep.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Thank you, everybody. Have a good evening.